Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to another video. And that is a bloody mosquito. Must be somewhere here. No, I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna find it. I couldn't find it. Damn. Wow. Anyways, welcome to another video. So today we are gonna dive into another video explanation. We're gonna discuss about the new song to awaken or not to. And this is a very big one. We're gonna discuss about this awakening, what it's all about, and the fact that you actually have a choice. You can choose if to awaken or not, until it's gonna be in such a vast of numbers that the whole world will be conscious, will rise up to this new era of new consciousness and new frequency. Anyways, yeah. So, if you're new here, hello, welcome. My name is Emill Sparkle and I'm an artist. And what I'm doing in those specific videos, explanations, I explain the lyrics that I wrote so I could give you the most messages I've been writing between the lines. You should know that I'm getting visions and I just translate them to any kind of form of art. Here we're going to discuss the messages through the lyrics in these songs, but in the future I will also share with you some pictures, paintings, drawings, and so on. You also should know that I'm not a musician just yet, so I'm using AI tools to make my lyrics a full song version. I do choose the music and the melodies and how it's gonna be sound, so it will fit to the lyrics or to the main theme. And as I already said, the main subject today is this awakening journey, what this is all about. So yeah, it's gonna be a big one. And with that being said, we're gonna start. Give me just a second to do here some preparations. Hello. Yeah, and it's really annoying. Awaken or not to awaken or not to. You know where it's coming from. To be or not to be. That is the question, but these days the question is to awaken or not to awaken. Let's begin. One moment, this is not the song. Where it's coming from? Ooh, I see. Okay. Now, let's begin.
Are we living in a glass box? Do you want the full answer? Okay, so no, the main answer is yes.
So we have started. This is the intro of the song, and so the first question that started all this song is, are we living in a glass box, and what the meaning behind it? This is ODM. I have it in the tip of my tongue. Never mind, I'm gonna use another word. we are living in a holographic world, meaning that we have reflections of light, and that's what makes our world physical and seen. Everything that we are touching, seeing, tasting, everything is a source of light. So we have a structure that surrounds the globe, and with light that makes it a holographic um, creation that made by light. So that's when I'm saying, are we living in a glass box? Are we living in this holographic world? And the answer is yes. So until you will awaken to realize and to actually see this holographic structure, then you should know that we are living in holographic world, and the full answer is that it always been like that. We just need to learn through our lives to awaken to what is really exists. And when you are learning to be the observer and, to be a human being, then you will be open with your clear senses and with your own consciousness to see the truth behind what is that is playing around us, okay? How the energies are playing in this earth. And a very good example is, of course, the movie Matrix, that you see that everything is coded, and that is truly what's behind what we are seeing. Coders, people who make codes, can very much understand this programming, because what they do, so we could see a movie, is that they put in codes, they using numbers, and they using writing. They write down the code, and we don't see the code itself, but we see the picture, the moving picture. So this is exactly what's going in real life. It's like playing, I know it's hard to take it, but it's like playing in a video game. And when you become knowledgeable about this situation, then you can become the coder. You can become the one who makes the code and change reality. And that means, and that is manifestation. That is when you realize your power. This is when you get to this awakening, to be awakened and know how to use the code. So yeah, even though I asked you, do you want the full answer, and it says, I don't know, I just told you so. So no, the main answer is yes. Righty, so let's continue.
Open my eyes to another day, mirage. Today is raining nice. My life creates a montage. What I know and to trust. Life shifts so fast, it's like my soul longs to hunt what this is all about. Reality is ghosting my thoughts, to awaken or not to.
Open my eyes to another day, mirage. Today is raining ice. My life creates a montage. See, when you start to realize what is going on, that everything is truly holographic, and we are in a playtime here of learning and experiencing, then opening my eyes, it's opening myself to the truth. It can be also opening my third eye to see what is beyond, and realizing that everything is holographic, everything is a hologram. It's, in the beginning, it's really hard to take it, because since you have been born, you use your senses. So letting you know that your senses kind of um, well, not fake, but they are deceiving you, or you need to realize that your clairsentients are the ones who can lead you the way to what is beyond the 3D, because your five senses are made for you to create and to experience life with the physical vessel, but you also have clear sentience, so clear senses. So you could also be in the non-physical realm. So you could experience life not just as the physical ones. So you realize that everything is a mirage. And today is raining ice. I like to give some glimpse of Mother Nature. And at this day that I wrote this song, it was raining. So there's nothing behind raining ice. My life creates a montage. You learn to see the big picture, and you see that everything that you experience through life, and if you're awakening to your past lives, you realize that everything that you've been experienced, it's piece of a very, very, very big picture. And so the realization that there's something bigger gives you like realization of what is truly going through your life. And even though anything is not making sense, actually everything is also making very sense. And you will need to experience that to understand that to the core what I just said. But again, we will go through the song and you will see that you have a choice. If you want to experience those new sensations and new experiences or not, it will be your choice. Now, and later we're going to dive much more deeply. Would I know when to trust? Life shifts so fast. It's like my soul longs to hunt what this is all about. So when you start your awakening journey, it will start with a question. And it's going to be a big question. It can be, what is my purpose? What I'm doing here? Where I'm coming from? What this world is really made of? And yeah, and those big questions, is death is the end, and so on. So when you start awakening, you're starting to questioning everything that is on your table. Like, I don't believe in anything anymore. I need to reset my life and to have new questions and new answers, or at least realizing to shift your questions in a different way. So you could have more realization, and it will help you to remember more of what you're made of. So would I know when to trust is one of the questions. When I'm gonna trust this unseen creation, when I know to trust the unknown. And you will see when you are in the process of this awakening, things will shift very fast. It's kind of like speeding up your life movie, and it's hard to understand where you're at when everything is moving so fast. It's like you don't have enough time to process everything. But know that you're so capable of taking all of that, and it's gonna be different to any individual. It's like my soul longs to hunt what this is all about. Now, when you start to ask those big questions, it's actually coming from your inner drive, from your inner soul, wanting to open you to the bigger picture, to the bigger life, that to connect to more of just one aspect of life, which is the 3D. Your soul wants to say, well, you are ready right now to go and step forward to experience new things, and they will be from the unseen. They will be from the void. They will be from the astral plan. They can come from your dreams, and they can come as visions, as sounds, and so on. So your soul longs to be on stage and to give you a push to go to what you're meant to be, to your chosen character, or let's say your purpose life. This is also will be in your awakening call.
Am I supposed to leave all behind? To awaken or not to? Rebirth is painful as the first gloss. To awaken or not to? Let me give you a piece of my mind. To awaken or not to? To awaken or not to? Can make me to awaken or not to? I embrace that. To awaken or not to? To awaken or not to? I see people.
Okay. Reality is ghosting my thoughts to awaken or not to. And you will see that along the course and the second course, you will see that the line to awaken or not to will repeat itself, because this is the main subject, and this whole song trying to tell you what this awakening call is, and to ask you, are you want to go and to awaken or not? So reality is ghosting my thoughts. It's when you realize that reality is a fake, it's an illusion, and it is kind of ghosting you, because you realize what's really going on. You start to be connected to fields that you've never been aware of. And so you can, it can come with glimpse of experience. It can be like going to the grocery store and standing on the line and just seeing that as, this is fake, this is not reality. But you will feel inside of you something within you telling you there's much more to it. This is a game, this is a play. This is when you start to be aware of the matrix structure, that things are not supposed to be so automatically or so programmed. Yeah. Am I supposed to leave all behind? To awaken or not to? When you start to, excuse me, the first thing when you start to awaken, you choose to awake. You ask the questions, you start to gather information, you start to gather experiences, and you will realize that everything changed. So whatever you knew, everything you knew and everything that you believe needs to stay behind. You have to come to this process clean and empty and open to receive new insights, new experiences. So am I supposed to leave all behind? Yeah, it's terrifying to say, but that's what you're going to do. Everything that you ever knew will not fit to your current life, because you are awakening, and so it will have to stay behind. So it's like a rebirth, and like when I'm saying rebirth is painful as the first loss, you start your awakening, you start your rebirth, and it is painful because to realize that everything you knew, everything that you gathered through life, now you need just to throw away and start all over again. It has its own moments of pain, but it must be done. It's part of the process. And the first loss, it's the first birth, your physical birth. So it might be painful as your first time coming here to Earth. Let me give you a piece of my mind to awaken or not to. So like I said, this is the main subject, and it will be repeated through along the song. Give me a clue to awaken or not to. I embrace the new to awaken or not to. When you choose to awaken, like I said, you need to be empty and to be ready to open up to new opportunities and to new information, new awareness, and new way of life. So you will need to embrace this new happenings, these new events in your life. Eventually your soul will help you to choose and tell you if you are ready or not. I do believe that every soul has its own divine timing to awaken. Some of the souls that are in this current lifetime might not be awakened. But then again, you have the choice, and you will have messages such as this video. You will have messages that will tell you you need to wake up. If you've been seeing this video just randomly and you've seen me like it's your first time, then this is a calling that you need to wake up.
See people in colored circles, to awaken or not to. Well, love will be easy to get used to awaken or not to. Spaces full of lighting candles, to awaken or not. Let the signs lead you to get through, to awaken or not to. Awaken or not to. I want to hold to the truth. To awaken or not to. I knew you. To awaken or not to. To awaken or not to.
Alright, so our second course is I see people in colored circles, to awaken or not to. Now, like I said in the beginning of the video, when I get messages, I get them through vision. I see. And then when I see these visions or films or flashes, I translate them to a form of art. And here I've seen people standing, and they have on the street, and they have a circle, drawn circle around them, and they cannot go over this circle. And this is your life in the matrix. So it's like we know this as putting a person in a specific role, like a specific work, and it's his or her lives. This is what they do in their life. They keep on doing the same thing and being in the same spot. So when I say I see people in colored circles, when you are awakened, you literally see that. I mean, you don't see it artistically like circles around people, but you see that people are stuck. They are stuck in the same autopilot for years and years, and you cannot ignore that anymore. When you see the truth, you cannot go back. So those people who are being in these colored circles are not yet awakened, but they are the ones who needs to choose if to awaken and change that. So this video is encouraging people to go and know beyond what they know already or what they have been living automatically. When love will be easy to get used to. Now this is not about the love that 3D life is telling us. It's not about the love in the movies, that everything is so romantic and everything has to be like ecstasy, moments of ecstasy, or a lot of drama, a lot of like imbalance situations in your heart so you could be with the one you love. It's not this love, it's the state of love. The state of love, it's when you are in harmony with everything and you have a sense of inner peace and inner love, this unconditional love to everything. It's not just about loving the trees and the birds or your neighbors or your family and animals. It's about loving everything. It's about loving the chair you're sitting on. It's loving the food that you are making. It's loving the moments you have with your partner, like sitting and seeing a movie or making a dinner together. It's the love for your child. It's everything, but it's everything. So it's the love of state of being. This is when you're in high frequency. So when I ask when love will be easy to get used to, it's when is the time when humanity will rise up fully. We are in this era when we are rising our frequency. So I'm asking when it will happen, when it will be, and humanity will be consistently in this high frequency. Space is full of lightning candles. This is a metaphor or a vision of when space becomes sacred. And people will acknowledge that this space is needed in their life. That it doesn't have to be a room in your house, a specific room, but it's you indicating time to yourself and make it a sacred space. Now, lighting candles is the element of fire that we are using to shift the energies in space. It's very helpful, but you don't have to use it. So yeah, I'm saying that when love will be, it's all together. All this verse is all together. When people realize that they are in these colored circles, and when people realize that they can stay in this high frequency consistently, then it also will come with giving time to yourself and make the space of your own sacred, a sacred time. Then let the signs lead you to get through. Then it's also when you will get the signs from higher realms. You will get signs. They can be physical. They can be sensory. Sensory. You will gain them from your clear senses. It can be also through sound waves that you will hear. It can be through visions, seeing those beings, of light or seen behind your closed eyes some messages and so on. So where we are, to awaken or not to, I want to hold to the truth. When you choose to awaken, you choose to know the one truth, this big one truth of existence. To awaken or not to, I knew you. Now, I don't quite understanding myself why I wrote that. I can tell you what I saw. When I wrote this sentence, I knew you, I had a vision of ancestors from past lives, and some of them were Indians, some of them were from other planets with a different color skin, and they've been in a circle when I was in the middle of the circle. And when I say I knew you, it's like I've been there. I've been with those people. This is your ancestors, and when you will awaken, you will have some messages from your ancestors. If it's in your dreams, if it's in visions, if it's in inner knowing, like going towards something or doing something and just know things, again, you will need to experience that yourself.
All changes rapidly. It feels like madness. I admit I lost my sanity. The shape falls to slackness. It's like a striking light. All you knew never mattered. It's like going from black to white. All you believe shattered. Reality is ghost in my thoughts.
Alright, this is a strong one. So when you in your awakening journey, you're already there. Everything will change rapidly. It's like shading your old skin, but with shading your old skin, it's shading your old life, meaning all the people you've knew that stick to this old skin will go with it. So if it's work, if it's some environments, some events, a workplace, it will all will shade with your old skin. So it feels like you are naked in front of the world, and you don't know what to do, but it's part of that. Like that. This is why it calls the awakening code, because you're awakening to something much bigger. So it feels like madness because suddenly you see things that have been told they are not existing, or you've been told that this is false, or this is not reality, or there's like fairies. Fairies exist, okay? Fairies and demons, let's say, all those creations do exist, and it will be madness to suddenly realize that this is real, that this is part of reality. So this is just an example, but there's much more to it. Your vision, your inner and outer sides will change immensely. Even your flavors will change. Everything will change. The color in your eyes can change when you are awakening. You will see also changes in your skin, your own skin. Suddenly you will have some dots that have never been there. And science told us that this is happening because of the sun. But what if you are a person just like me that is sensitive to the sun, and I've barely been under the sun, and suddenly I see shiftings and some dots everywhere in a triangle shape. Like, where does this come from? It will be part of this awakening. So everything will change, and you might have some symptoms of pain and fatigue. It's like, when your body is growing up, when you're in your years where your body needs to grow up, you will have this growth pains. So when you are growing spiritually, you also have symptoms that may have cause pain or fatigue or emotional turbulence, because this is part of the symptoms of awakening. So I admit I lost my sanity. The shaped falls to slackness. So there is another experience. I really don't know if you as individual will see it or experience that, but you will see that time is fluid, because time is not linear whatsoever. So you will realize much more the concept behind quantum jumping, behind, if you master time and space, you will learn how to teleportation. It's still new, but we eventually will learn how to do that. Hopefully, in my vision, we will learn that in school. And yet again, it's not gonna be called as school. Anyways, just a glimpse of what's gonna happen in the future. See, so everything will start to be fluid, and in the same time, everything that you see will be fluid. It's like, also, if you've been in experiencing being on mushrooms or acid, and I'm gonna say right here, right now, because if you're trying that, take precautions, okay? Be very knowledgeable about this experience, study before, be in a safe place and environment. Everything that you are playing with every time that you are playing with your brain and with your visions and with more insights or spiritual experiences, please be cautious and learn what you're gonna have or what you're gonna expect from this experience and how to get ready to. So it will be a good experience. And so you won't be lost, because when you start to explore the unseen in various ways and methods, if you do it carelessly, you can get lost very easily, and you can lose your sanity in a very dangerous way. So we don't want that. So before anything, if you're diving in to the unseen in a very deep and expressive way, be ready. So it can be seen like you've been taking something like psychedelic plant, and everything will feel like it's blending in to each other. You might see even visions of colors, of waves of colors, and everything will start to be blurry, and then it will be clear and blurry again. And you might also see the connection, the net of light that connects everything. You will also can see things as zooming in and zooming out. It can be flashes of zooming in into, like if there's a leaf, zooming in into the leaf and you can see the little particles in the leaf, and zooming out. Right? When then this start to happen, know that your third eye is also opening, and you are opening to another layers of reality. The filters that we having here starting to fade if you start to experience those visions. Okay, so the shapes fall into slackness. This is what I'm saying, that everything starts to be more fluid and moving, and you will see that everything is moves. Even the chair or the table. It's like a striking light. All you knew never matters. Now, like I said, if you start to experience those visions and connections, then you realize, well, everything I've been taught it's false. Because they say to me, this is all illusions, this is all hallucinations, and reality, it's the what is solid is the fact, and it's true, but nothing is solid. See what I'm getting at? So everything we've taught is needed to be relearning. We need to relearn it again, because now we are starting to live in different layers of reality. So everything you knew never matters. It's like going from black to white. All you believed shattered. All your belief system will change in instant. And like going from black to white, it's like knowing something and realizing that everything you knew in your whole life was a lie, or at least it was something that is not effective where you at, because now as you live in new earth, in new layers, it's like it's not linked anymore. Okay, because you are above this kind of earth, this world. Okay, you start to be in the new earth, so everything shifting and it's changing, and you start to gain this higher consciousness, realizing that things are happening in a different way when you go to when you go to different layers.
Am I supposed to leave all behind? To awaken or not to? Rebirth is painful as the first gloss. To awaken or not to? Let me give you a piece of my mind. To awaken or not to? To awaken or not to? Give me to awaken or not to? Embrace the to awaken or not to? To awaken or not to? Or not to? I am shouting out my gut, 'cause now I know, I always knew that this day will come, releasing me from the rut. Me, I know my home. I'm not afraid anymore. I am not worried to fall. I am not crying my core. I am one with my soul. Reality is ghosting my thoughts. To awaken or not to? Am I supposed to leave all behind? To awaken or
So I'm shouting out my guts, and this is a sentence I just like to add in many of my songs. That is when you are not afraid anymore to be who you are, and you shout out your true self, and like you listening to yourself, and whatever is no longer serving you, just release it by shouting out. And it's a very good exercise. It's a very good practice, vocal practice, just to shout out in the middle of nowhere or into your pillow, whatever. It's really releasing very, very well, and energies that needs to go, So now I know, I always knew. Remembering, you start to remember. So you already knew everything. You're just remembering what you've been always had within you. That this day will come, releasing me from the rut. The day you choose to awaken is the day when you will say goodbye to your old life and everything will shift. And in reality, it will seem like it's going very fast. But when you go into the concept of time and space, you realize that this is now. It's happening now. Not very fast, but now, instantly. And it will release you from your old life. You will start to be at home. I know my home, and your home is basically everywhere. But you will have the sensation of being at home everywhere you go, everywhere you sit, everywhere you breathe, every place that you will sleep at, you will feel at home. And there's no more peaceful experience than this. I'm not like, when you are at home, you don't need to worry. You don't worry. You are feeling safe, and you are feeling that you're doing the right things at the right time. Everything is according to a plan and this plan is unseen mostly for most of us. But you feel at home. There's inner peace that's guiding you. I'm not afraid anymore. I'm not worried to fall. I'm not crying my core. I am one with my soul. So when you get to this experience, I'm going to tell you right here, it's, you might at first have a glimpse of this experience. Like one day you feel one with everything, like there's not really explanation for this. You have this inner sensation that everything is connected and everything is whole. And day after that, you will wake up and everything will be chaotic, because there are some energies that still are restored in you, and you need to release them. So you might have a glimpse of this peace at first, but when you are with your process, it will be more not temporary, one moment, permanent. It will be permanent. So I'm not worried to fall. You might have this like inner trust of whatever it comes, I will deal with it. So you are not worried to fall or to fail, because it might happen, but you will know how to deal with it without being chaotic and being a mess emotionally, energetically, mentally. You will know how to deal with it. Okay, I have a challenge. Okay, I just failed. I will see from now what to do next. Everything will be more in a flow motion. I'm not crying my core. When you know your purpose life, and everything starts to align. So there's no worry, there's no fear, and you won't be in this position to ask what is going on right now, what I'm doing, what, and cry because you won't have answered. I am one with my soul. And that is when you are connected to your higher self. And this is the best thing that you could, this is a personal opinion. Okay. So I won't say this is your best. You will choose what is best for you. But it's an awesome experience when you are connected to your spirit or to your higher self. And this higher connection puts you really in a lot of faith, safety, immense inner love to all beings, and inner knowing. And what do you need more than inner knowing when you are a worried person? If you have inner knowing, then all is well. All is well. Yeah, we finished here. So yeah. So a bit of a summary for our To Awaken or Not To song. Okay, so a summary. We started with the holographic world that we are living in a light reality that is being projecting light in many kind of directions. Sorry. And that makes the holographic world as it is, as we see it. And we've been going through the Matrix and the movie Matrix as a very good explanation of how the world is being seen behind the coding. And that is like a coder doing its work and giving us a movie, but behind the movie there's a code that is written. We also been going through, when you are awakening, you'll be open to new insights. It can be seen as a psychedelic experience, and like I said, be very caution if you ever starting or trying to do psychedelic experiences or anything that is challenging your insight and your spiritual experiences. Learn before you ever start anything, so you have the knowledge to make this experience beneficial and safe, and most of it a good experience. We also dived into seeing the big picture, because when you are awakening, you see life in a different perspectives. It's like there's a known metaphor or a known you will start to see life as an allegory. So you will see the seen and what is being unseen in the same time. We also been going through, when you start to awaken, you start to question. It's beginning with the inner urge to seek for the big answers. Although you might not find answers, but you will reshape the questions and you will reshape your perception about life. So we've learned that reality is an illusion, and when you are shading your old self, you will be shading your whole life, including the people that have been in this old life, the environment, your events, experiences, opinions. Everything will will go and be released, and you will have to come as a naked person. You will be open and empty and will need to be receptive to the new, to embrace the new. And that also a topic we've been going through here, that we need to embrace this change, these new life layers that you are going through, because the old is not answering to whatever you want to seek or to whatever you want to know more about. And seeing the truth might be so overwhelming that it can put you in madness. But remember that you are not alone. Many of us are in this awakening journey, and we have also this social media that we can connect in and with. So you are not alone. Everything that is bothering you or you feel worried about, and when you start your journey, know that there are many leaders, many people and groups that you can talk to and rely on whenever you feel that this experience is overwhelming and you cannot go through that alone. Know that there's people you can go to, and you just need to seek for them. And with that being said, anything else? We've been also talking about the people that are in their autopilot, and they will need to choose whether they want to awaken or to keep their life as it is. It's a choice. We've been talking about that. This is something that you will need to go towards, or to stay in the same spot. And we've been talking about love and the state of love and the difference between this love to the love we have known or have been taught through movies and through education here. In the 3D, it's different. Like no one ever told you or taught you in 3D or in the old education system that you can love your table, right? It will be weird. But the state of love is not the emotional experience. It's not emotional. It's a whole experience that you sense in your whole body, and it's not a feeling, it's a sensation. Like I said, it's a state of being. It's not an emotion, it's not a thought, it's a being. So we've been talked about that. And yeah, well, you see, eventually you choosing your awakening journey, when to start it. I said that I do believe everybody has their own divine timing, but you will need these nudges or messages such as this video to tell you, well, you need to go and question this. You need to go and seek for more information about this topic. So, with that being said, thank you so much for being here. Hopefully it helped you and gave you a glimpse and a little bit of help to see where you're at in your own journey, or in your own awakening journey. And if you didn't start it, then hopefully this message will help you to gain the courage to start towards and go towards your own path. Till the next one, have a wonderful day and cheers.